Okay, so in today's video we will be presenting a tutorial on a song called Jacob's Song by Briana Babineaux. I believe it's pronounced. Briana Babineaux, Jacob's Song. Okay, this is in E minor. Okay, which is the key of G, but the 6th degree, right? In the key of G. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So we start in E minor. Let's just go through the chords here, down to a C. Let's turn it up a little bit. It's E minor. Down to a C major. Okay. So it's the 6 to the 4 chord. 6th chord, which is in G, that's the 6th chord. Down to the 4 chord, which is a C. That's your C major, C. That's your E minor. That's your D with the F sharp bass. C. That's a D again. E minor. That's a D with the F sharp bass. C. And a D again. Okay, so that little turnaround is the same as the intro. So, like I said before, first the chords are, we're in the key of G, but actually the song is in the minor key, right? So it's really in the E minor. The key is E minor, which, as I said, is the 6 of G. So you always have to think, if you hear an E minor chord, for example, or any minor, you have to think that, okay, that's the 6th chord of what key, to determine what the major key is, right? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it's actually the key of G major, which has 1 sharp. But the 6th chord of any key is considered the relative minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's our E minor, right? So it does this little thing at the beginning. Okay, so we have a F sharp and a B. Right? So if I hit the E in the bass, there's an F sharp on the top and the B. This is the basic idea. And down to a C. And the melody note up there is E, D. E, D, right? So of the C chord, that's my 3, 2, 3, 2, and then E minor. It's F sharp to a B, F sharp to a B, and then the C chord, E, D, E, D. So let's listen to that intro, okay? I was just at the turnaround, but let's go back to the beginning and catch the intro to that song. F sharp. There's your E to D. F sharp B with the E in the top, F sharp B, and C in the bass, and then E, D. Now there's a note in between, if you notice, there's a little thing there. All right, so to make it more complete, there would be that you would use this G here on your thumb. So the G in your E minor chord, the G is your 3rd, right? It's a 3rd of E minor. In C, the G is your 5th, right? So it's just the perspective. It depends on your perspective. But then what we're doing is this. You can hear the guitar doing that. right? And then keep coming down on the G. And then the E in the bass, it sounds like this. I'm sorry. Now the left hand, go down to the C. I keep repeating that G in the bottom, see? So let's listen to that again. And listen to the notes. That acoustic guitar. Whoa. You hear that G? Alright, so it's important to just try to distinguish the notes there. So first what you do is you listen to that main melody there of the guitar. Beep-ba, beep-ba, and then beep-ba, beep-ba. And then you could sort of listen to the notes in between. Right? They're playing an acoustic guitar there, but we can sort of hear those notes. You hear that? You hear the G? Ding. Now together. Okay. E minor. Now play lightly here. Just play the chord here. Yeah, there it is, yes. I won't let it go. So what it does here is like, I won't let it go, E minor. And then it goes up to a D. It goes down to a D, but the F sharp bass. So the bass is like kind of climbing. I'll let it go up to a, right? So that's your D with the F sharp bass. So the D here I'm playing here is a second inversion, right? So D here's my D in root, full D. Right? And then you drop the bottom. Well, in this case, what I'm doing is I'm moving the whole thing up. So my bottom note will be the F sharp, right? I'm playing the full chord. And then the A will be on the bottom. This is the full chord. So it would be, let it go. Then here's a full E minor 7th. E on the bottom, G, B, D, and E. If you want to play the full 4 chord. The 4 note chord, I mean. Or just 5 notes, excuse me. To a D, and then it goes up to a C, up to a D again. So it's really like a 6 to a 5 of the key of G, to a 4 to a 6. So let's listen to that. So here's the chorus or the pre-chorus. E minor, D with the F sharp bass, C, back to the 5 chord, D. There's my D second inversion. Back to that. Okay, so again, E minor, if I just play simple E minor here, to show you a simple way. E minor, D, second inversion. F sharp bass. Simple 3 chords if you want to do it that way. C. You can add the 2. notice it's really simple. It's really just 6, 5, 4, 5. If we're in the key of G, 6, 5, 6, 5, 4, 5. But the bass makes the difference, right? A, D, F sharp to a C. I often add the D and the C to give it a little cool little sound. And then she comes back into this, the turnaround is like the intro. The important thing here is to let that melody ring out. So you want to be softer on the left side here. The E in the left hand, a little bit softer here. The E and this little thing here should be softer, right? So it's like the melody should ring out more. So the thumb is coming very lightly. You have to sort of think about that intentionally. So bring this out more. Right? So this is a little bit louder. That's a little bit louder. Not too strong, but just loud enough. And then putting it together. Oh, sorry. I can use my pinky at the top here on the E. Okay, so let's see what they do here. This is the first turnaround, first break. See, very lightly in the background over her vocals, right? Very lightly. You can still hear that. Just lightly. Here we go. Oh, not yet. We're building up, now we're building. Okay. E minor. D with the F sharp here. C. D again, like David. Get a little busier. Some inversions here. C. It's the same thing there. E. D with F sharp. F sharp in the bass. C again. D. Need you to change me. D over F sharp. C chord to a D again, just like before. Inversions. It's already over 4 minutes into the song, so they're really jamming. About another minute and a half left. Right, so there you go. There's your E minor there. You can move the E minor up a little bit. So I'm playing the left hand with the E on my left hand. And so my thumb is on the G. So here's first, here's root position. I'm going to move that up to first inversion and let my left hand play the E. And then I can move that up again if I want, drop the bottom note, bring that G up here. And so a B, an E, and a G. And the root. If you want to fill it in even more, you can do E, G, B, D, E minor 7th, and then drop the E, move it up here. E minor 7th this way. Right, G, B, D, E. And drop this D. I've dropped this G, excuse me, and move it up there. Right, so it looks like this. The B is on the bottom now of the E minor 7th. And I drop the B, bring it up. Right, so now we adjust. We have a D, an E, a G, and a B. Same E minor 7th, and then root. Alright, hope you can see that. Coming down, drop the D, put it here. Right, readjust. Drop the B, bring it here. Readjust. Drop the G up top, bring it here. Readjust. Drop the E, bring it here. Readjust. So there's our E minor 7th. If you want to add a little more depth to the song, play a full E minor 7th. Alright? You should start getting familiar with moving that E minor 7 up and down. Even just the E minor itself. 3 notes, right? E, G, B. First inversion. Second inversion with the B. B, E, D, B, E, G. Root. And down. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Talk to you later.